Ako urong dito, and I said I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
The Philippine National Police recognizes the public opinion of greater feeling of safety and security and lesser fear of crime expressed in the latest social survey by the SWS. The SWS survey conducted on September 15 to 23, 2018 showed an improvement in the feeling of safety and security of citizens against property crimes like burglary, as fear of break-ins fell 3% from 55% in June 2018 to 52% in September 2018. This can only indicate in an expression of greater public confidence on the peace and order environment. While fear of street crimes remained consistent at 46% since March and June 2018, this is the lowest since the 42% posted in April 2016. I would like to point out that victimization by common crimes reported in surveys is usually much higher than the number of crimes actually reported to the police. This explains the perennial disparity in numbers between surveys and police records. But proportionately, the survey results are consistent with the crime data generated by the Philippine National Police from reported crime incidents recorded in police blotters. The same public confidence indicated in the surveys is a factor that adds to accurate crime reporting because more victims are now coming forward to report crimes. This allows us to get a better and more realistic picture of the crime environment. Overall, we take this empirical measure of public perception and experience with crime as an indication of greater feeling of safety from crime and subsequent lesser fear of crimes. In our analysis of the national crime environment, 10-month total crime volume decreased by 13.6% in January to October 2018 as compared with the total crime volume during the same period in 2017. Index crimes, which are the indicators that develop the perception of fear and crime, slumped at 30.90% over the past 10 months or 28,749 fewer crime incidents than in 2017. Crime against persons and crime against property both registered double-digit decreases, with robbery and theft posting the highest rate of decline at 33.98% and 34.64% respectively. Let me emphasize that there are certain crime types that are seasonal in terms of frequency, which become more prevalent when the element of opportunity is present, such as during the holiday season when the objects of crime abound. To break the cycle, we are reinforcing focused police operations against street crime and other forms of criminal activity that are prevalent during the holiday season. This includes non-contact crime committed through cyberspace and telecommunication platforms that are fast becoming notorious forms of crime against properties. Let me move on to another topic that deserves a more thorough clarification. The NPA SPARU unit I was referring to was the notorious hit squad of the defunct Alex Bocayong Brigade or ADB of the Manila Rizal Regional Party Committee of Pilimon Lagman of the CPP, NPA, NDF. Since then, the current CPP, NPA, NDF leadership maintained its SPARU-like operations against their perceived enemies. Over the past 3 years, there had been 136 hits on soldiers, policemen, rebel returnees, local officials, and tribal leaders by the CPP, NPA, NDF, attributed to its Special Partisan Unit or the Special Operations Group based on the red areas. They are not based in urban areas like the former SPARU units, but only get out from the red area, normally rural area, to do special partisan operations like liquidation, murder, or assassination as directed by the Regional Party Committee. This active CPP, NPA, NDF hit squad is responsible for the 136 confirmed kills over the last 3 years. There is strong possibility that it will stage more hits depending on how the communist movement would want to utilize the SPU, SOG's specialized capability for small unit missions against vulnerable targets. This specialized capability of the CPP-NPA and DF should be addressed with an equally specialized countermeasure to reduce the potential for further attacks on soft targets. There's also the likelihood that some misled guerrilla fronts under maverick and enterprising commanders may offer the services of the SPU, SOG for political assassinations. The latest monitored SPU, SOG hits were the ambush to 2 army soldiers at the Las Navas public market in northern Samar last November 27. The recent assassination of Philippine Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer Jesus Saavedra in Pio Duran, Albay, and the botched assassination in Catbalogan City of ex-Mayor Aran Boler of Matuguinao, Samar. Finally, I am grateful to the SONA Club of Makati Paseo de Rojas Foundation Incorporation under its president, Ms. Eleanor B. Soriano, for hosting this year's Search for the Outstanding Policewomen of the Philippines. This annual search, sponsored by the Sonta Club of Makati Paseo de Rojas Foundation Incorporated since 2002, is not only a recognition of the contribution of women to law enforcement, who currently comprise 16.57% of the police force, but an affirmation of the PNP's support to the national advocacy of empowerment of women. As a preview of the formal presentation of the winners later at the Multipurpose Center, I am proud to present to you the 2018 Outstanding Police Women of the Philippines. Ito po sila ngayon. They are number 1, Superintendent Sagaysay of NCRPO, SPO2 Corpus of Maritime Group, SPO1 Aguada of NCRPO, Chief Inspector Dizon of PRO 11, Senior Inspector Acosalem of PRO 11, Chief Inspector Galvez of PRO 9, SPO3 Ilasan Juan of PRO 1, PO1 Pablo of Pro Calabarzon, Senior Inspector Camagian of Pro 1, and Senior Inspector Avenilla of Pro Calabarzon. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, sir. First question will come from Ms. Deputy Before.
Sir, good morning po. Sir, you mentioned earlier about the 136 attacks by the SPARU ng NPA, and the President had mentioned din about the SPARU naman sa government na gagawin. Sir, may mga indications ba na naging active ulit itong mga SPARU ng NPA?
Well, these are indications. Dun sa death na in 3 years' time, the Armed Forces of the Philippines were able to record 136 deaths, no, perpetrated by the CPP-NPA and DF. So ito yung probably, these incidents probably prompted the President to look into this deeper, and probably ito yung sinasabi niya that we would create a special unit to address specifically this problem.
Sir, kamusta na po yung mga na-deploy na police? Hindi ka na po overall sa mga Samar based on the memo?
As of this time, since wala pa naman tayo yung dun sa sinasabi ng pag-create ng special unit na yun, of course, we have to coordinate that with the Armed Forces of the Philippines pa kung paano ma-create yan at sino talaga magsusupervise. For the meantime, in the absence of that, yung in compliance to EO 32, we have deployed batalyon, isang batalyon sa Negros Island, because of the Sagay incident. Doon sa Bicol naman, we deployed one company of Special Action Force, and doon sa Samar naman ay one company of Special Action Force also.
Sir, CBC na naging active ulit sila. Is this a desperate move since marami yung sumusuko na NPA?
Probably, no? Isa yan. Just to show, they're trying to show that they are still a force to reckon with. Dahil medyo marami na nga nagsusurrender sila because of the what we call the localized peace talks. No? Marami kasi nagsurrender na in Pro Calabarzon just a few months ago, may nagsurrender with their firearms, and also dun sa Davao na pinresent ng Pro 12 na nagsurrender. 12 ang nagsurrender doon with 21 or 22 firearms. No, high-powered firearms at that.
Okay. Sir, last na po on my part. yung recent taking lang nila, yung mga lumad leaders, sila sa Trocamo, kumbaga, nagkaroon po sila ng paghaharap, and yung mga lumad leaders, parang sinisisi ng kidnapping, po sila sa Trocamo. Any reaction on that, sir?
Yes, actually, a kidnapping case was filed against them pero hindi tinanggap ng piskalya. Pero hindi dinismiss. Let's be clear on that. Hindi dinismiss yan, hindi lang tinanggap ng piskalya. So, I just talked with the regional director this morning and they'll be refiling the case because there are 5 parents who signed their affidavits and are planning to file a case of kidnapping laban dito kina sa Trocamo.
Sir, what does it reflect doon kina sa Trocamo? Bakit nila kailangan kunin yung mga kabataan na yun?
Well, hindi natin alam kung bakit tayo na-exploit itong mga kapatid nating mga IPs lalo na. No? Remember, itong mga IPs na to, they were here last month to complain also. No? Yung pumunta sila dun sa school na yun, we're not telling that that school is illegitimate. But what they're saying is what they teach in that school. Dahil sabi nila na yung pati yung pambansang awit na pinapakanta nila ay iba. No? At kinanta pa nila dito yon. We're not making this up. No? Pupunta sila dito, alam ng mga bata, umiiyak yung mga bata na sila ay pinapapasok dun sa school na yon, pero iba ang tinuturo. Ang tinuturo nila kung paano mag-rally at tinuturo nila kung ano-ano para dun sa kilusan. Sila din ang yung mga hinahakot nila from Mindanao going here in times of may SONA, pag may mga big events dito. So kawawa itong mga kapatid nating IPs at ini-exploit na kung sino-sino.
Next question kay Mundal Palas, DCRH.
Sir, good morning. Related po dun sa question na nangyari sa Davao din Norte. We challenge yung grupo ng SINDALO na para daw makita ng PNP o ninyo yung actual situation ng mga salubungan schools nila. To visit, para makita yung mga kailangan na any response to you.
Well, unang-una, hindi kami ang dapat magsabi niyan. It should be the Department of Education. No? Sila ang dapat remember when we were, natatandaan ko, when I was in elementary, palaging merong observer sa likod kung ano ang tinuturo. As I've said earlier, yung legitimacy is one, and what you teach is another. Yun yung doon. What you teach in school is another. And that should be probably isang kasi napakalayo niyan. Napakalayo. Hindi natin pwedeng masabi sa DepEd na araw-araw babantayan yan. But when we were children, nung kami, merong usually mga nag-observer sa likod. We just do not know kung sino yun, pero we believe that they are from the Department of Education na makita kung ano talaga tinuturo dito sa mga bata, sa amin.
So no need to visit para sa inyo?
Well, hindi na siguro. Dahil kasi pagdating mo doon, syempre mag-iba na yung turo. Di ba? Pagdating mo doon, of course, iba na yung turo. Iba yung sinasabi ng mga We believe on this ITAS, kung itong mga IPs natin, mga lumads, lalo na, no? Na pupunta rito. They will not probably spend much money to go here and complain. No? And go around the different government agencies para may dulog yung kanilang concern doon sa kanilang You could just imagine they are being exploited there. No? At lason na lason yung kanilang pag-iisip. At pupunta pa sila dito. Sila ang remember yung mga nasasaktan pag mga rallies dito sa Metro Manila, sila yun Sila yung dinadala from Mindanao, dinadala dito, hinahakot. Because they're being taught on how to conduct rallies there. And linalason yung pag-iisip nila na ganito, gano'n, na pinapabayaan sila ng gobyerno, na gano'n ang ginagawa And you could just imagine by teaching them a different national anthem. Yun ang sinabi ng mga lumads na pumunta sa atin dito. And I think the video will also show yung paano nila kinausap itong sa Trocamo.
Sir, on another point, si General Malayo, sabi niya, nag-recommend na daw ng dismissal order sa tatlong senior cadets sa PNP. Nakarating na ba sa inyo itong order na ito?
Yes. Yes, it's for signature. Kung hindi ako magkamali, today it will be signed for the dismissal of the 3 involved cadets. Kasi last Friday, yun ang sinabi niya, it's already for signature. Pero since the weekend, ngayon ang mapipirmahan yung dismissal order nila.
But they still have the chance to appeal?
Yes, of course.
To PPSC or to PNP?
Ang ano dyan is under kasi sila ng PPSC. So they can appeal their case. I think kung hindi ako magkamali, within 15 days they'll be given 15 days to make their appeal.
Pero kung kayo, sir, dapat talaga ma-dismiss na ito.
Yes, kung talagang guilty talaga sila eh. No? And it showed na mukhang talagang may problema. That is the very reason also why I talked to all the cadets last month. No? Para nga itong kung meron man, o baka ito maging sabihin nila na naman na kultura dun sa ano na, napakadelikado. So, kung talagang totoo yan, we should show no mercy to these cadets. You could just imagine pag nag-graduate yan, no? At magiging opisyal ng Philippine National Police na naman yan.
Thank you, sir.
Next question goes on the post Jane.
Sir, according to yung group nila sa Ocampo, fabricated daw po yung charges and even the people's minority sa Congress ay kinakabahala daw yung warrantless arrest na ginawa.
That is their opinion. No, what can we expect? Eh, kasama nila na yun, di ba? We cannot fabricate charges. If we fabricate charges, magagalit sa amin yung court. No, we cannot fabricate charges. We can never fabricate charges. Hindi kami makapag-charge kung walang complainant. That's why unang-una hindi nga tinanggap yung kidnapping na final ng Region 11, di ba? Hindi nga final, pero the violation of RA 7610 ay tinanggap ng piskalya. But it doesn't necessarily mean, as I've said, hindi dinismiss ng piskalya yung kidnapping charges. What can we expect there? Kasamahan na yan, di ba? Ang ano dito is what's important here is we base our charges based on the complaint of the parents and the relatives. Hindi nanggagaling sa amin yan. Hindi kami gumagawa ng basta-basta na charges. Hindi tatanggapin ng korte yan kailanman.
Next question, Roy Lara, Manila Times.
Good morning, sir. May ibang version naman po si Representative Franz Castro. Sabi niya po nakapagpaalam naman daw po sila from the parents since nung simula ng academic year nila na pwede naman po ninyo makapagpaalam.
Well, we'll see, no? Hindi ko pa nabasa yung affidavit ng mga magulang. Otherwise, hindi magko-complain yung mga magulang kung talagang pinagpaalam yung mga yan. Again, sabi nga natin, pinagpaalam na. Pero what you teach to teach children is what? That's a different thing, no? Those are two different things eh. Pagpaalam mo siya na mag-aral, di ba? Pero mag-aaral ng ano? Ano ituturo mo din sa mga bata na to? Paglaki nila, ganyan. They'll go against the government. Ang alam nila is rebellion. Di ba? Yun ang hindi tama siguro. Isang bilang magulang din naman tayo. Di ba? Gusto natin matuto yung ating mga anak na kung ano ang tama. Hindi yung pag-rebelde laban sa gobyerno. Di ba?
Sir, sa rin question, yung mga critics kayo point, parang kinakompare po nila si Saturo Campo and yung case ni Imelda Marcos or kay Saturo, inarasto daw siya agad. Tapos si Imelda daw, hindi agad inarasto despite na both of them are in their old age na.
Unang-una, yung case na Saturo, it's an inflagrante delicto. He was charged for it's because nahuli siya dun sa checkpoint. No? Yung kay Imelda Marcos, it happened long time ago when we're waiting for a warrant of arrest doon. Napakalayo naman yan siguro. No? Hindi naman inflagrante yung kay hindi naman nangyari ngayon yung kay former First Lady. No? Ito is some sort of a citizen's arrest also. Parang nakakita ka ng baril doon sa sasakyan, nakita mo, pwede mo bang i-compare yun doon sa kaso ni hindi pwede. Malayo. Di ba? This is a warrantless arrest. No? It's similar to citizen's arrest. This is a warrantless arrest. Typical example of a warrantless arrest.
Next question, Oscar Boyda, Jameson.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, yung paano ko lang isang question, yung pagliligaw niyo na hindi binasuran, kundi hindi lang tinanggap.
Yes.
Ano ba sa ng dahilan? Bakit hindi siya tinanggap?
Pwedeng mahina pa yung kaso, walang makita yung piskalya, no? Pwedeng ganon. Kaya nga ngayon, kaninang umaga lang, just before I came here, I talked with the regional director. They'll be refiling the case with affidavits of more or less 5 parents. And hopefully, tanggapin ng piskalya. Kasi may complaint. May complaint ng magulang.
One more, sir. Yung sa reaction lang sa viral na na artist sketch ng suspect kay Siting na bakit daw ganun yung art, ba't nag-artist sketch para kung nakakita mo.
Well, unang-una, yun ang kita eh. Wala naman tayo, we cannot invent a face eh. Yun talaga ang suot niya kasi, no? Hindi natin pwede ganun pagka-describe niya. No? Baka hindi niya tinanggal yan all the way. Remember, yung nakuha ng CCTV, wala dun sa ano eh, hanggang sana kung saan nakuha yung motorsiklo, iniwan. Kung talagang sanang may CCTV, most probably tinanggal na yung mask niya. But this person is wearing a mask. So how can we make a artist sketch na gagawa na lang ng kung ano-anong itsura? Mali naman siguro yon, no? Baka mamaya, picture mo pa yung lumabas no? Pero hindi, it's not, hindi, kung ano talaga, this goes to show na kung ano talaga ang sinabi ng witness, yun ang iyaano natin. We cannot, we cannot imagine the face of a person na wearing mask. The important thing there is kung saan nakuha yung mata niya. No? Most probably kasi tayo, mas nare-recognize tayo sa mga sa mata kahit na half of our face is covered. Yun yung hinahabol natin.
Next question, Vince Ferreras, Business World.
Sir, regard, ano pong reaction po natin sa warrant of arrest kay Maria Reza ng Rappler at sabi na rin po pwede po siya mag-file ng bail anytime.
Sa ngayon, wala pa kami nakukuha ang copy nung kung meron man, kung meron siyang warrant of arrest. Wala ka pa kaming nakukuha ang kopya. Just in case na meron, we will gladly serve it. Kung available naman yan, she has all the right to file a bail. Karapatan ng tao yan.
December na po ngayon, and as we all know po, na President Duterte is awaiting the recommendation po ng PNP and military regarding sa martial extension. So, any updates po ba dito sa recommendation ng PNP on the martial extension?
Ang alam ko, we have I just don't know kung formally submitted, pero during conferences, especially sa security cluster, I think the PNP has made it clear that we support the AFP's intention also of supporting the extension of martial law.
Sir, may nasabi na po.
Especially so, pabor sa amin yan. It's because of the upcoming plebiscite and the upcoming elections. In Mindanao,
So may recommendation po tayo?
Yes, alam ko meron na kaming meron na kaming recommendation dyan. That we are with the extension. Especially so with yung ang reason dyan is because of the upcoming election and also the plebiscite in
Kailan po siya nasabi?
I don't know, I just don't know. Pero napapag-usapan na yan dun sa security cluster. And we are one with the armed forces of the Philippines in extending. I'll just check kung formally. Now, we were not asked to formally, kung formal man ang paghingi sa amin ng comment. Basta yun ang position namin. We are for the extension.
Thank you, sir. Final question from Captain Santos.
Sir, baka po meron ng update dun sa isa pang cadet sa PNP na inaresto po recently for alleged pang-balete. So, baka may update.
I'll check sa kadete. Hindi pa sa kadete ng gabi yun. Hindi pa siya kadete during that time, nung nangyari yun. He was still not a cadet, so lumalabas, civilian pa siya. Ngayon, lumabas yung warrant, he has to be, isa serve yun. Makukulong yun, lalo na kung non-bailable yung rate case niya. Non-bailable, madi-dismiss din sa service yun. Pero kung may bail yun, then, but he will be charged for administratively also. Kasi hindi ko lang alam kung kung may kasalanan ba siya, kung nag-lie siya kung nagsinungaling siya. If he lied under oath na wala siyang then he will be dismissed from the court for lying, perjury, and violation of the honor code.
Pero sir, clarify ko lang po. Kahit na hindi pa proven guilty yung isang mag-apply for PNP, bawal na talaga basta na siyang credit case, kahit hindi pa found. Basically,
kung strictly speaking, doon sa pag-BBI, medyo medyo may delikado ka doon. Gano'n ang dyan. Although walang clear na ano dyan, pero kung may kaso ka, medyo tagilid ka na. Kasi under the background investigation, babagsak ka na.
Pero sir, hindi po parang nakita ulit yun ng weakness sa vetting process ng...
Kaya nga, that's one. Isa yan. Kaya nga kami, dito pa lang sa recruitment namin, sinabi ko na over and over again, na paigtingin namin yung pagbabackground investigation ng mga aplikante namin ng mga PO1. Dahil meron din nangyari niyan na during dyan sa NCR, may nakapasok na meron pa na siyang 2 o 3 kaso. So ito yung iniiwasan natin.
Sir, clarify lang, ba yung admin case po ay ipa-file na ngayon or aantay mo na
It can be filed. Kasi ang alam ko, kapag ikaw ay may pinapirma, merong tanong doon na you are facing criminal and admin cases. Doon ang sagot. So if no ka dyan, pero kung meron ka, you can be filed for violation of the honor code. Napakabilis. Siguro sa amin doon, mga 3 maximum 5 days. Tanggal ka eh. Ito yung pwedeng maging mabilis na basihan kung meron man pinapirma sa kanila. Alam ko, bago kasi papasok, may papapirma sa iyo yan. If you are facing criminal charge and administrative charge.
Hindi po po sir kung nasa na ngayon
accordingly, naka-bail daw kasi bail lang kasi. Pero kung gano'n yan, I'm sure it will be under the custody of kasi he will still be facing the administrative charge. Hindi naman siya outright dismissed kasi from the service.
Thank you very much, sir. We have ushered our press briefing for the Chief PNP will be at
Okay, thank you and good morning. Yung capture muna daw.
Picture lang ha. Good job. Come smile, ma'am.
Napalabis ko si DC mo Parang simpleng umalis kayo dyan pumasa. O, kakima.
Good job, ma'am. Smile, ma'am.